Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. And wait, what is that sound in the distance? It's the whale warning. Oh yes, guys, we've got 10x events happening during CvC over the next couple of days. And the whales, their ears are certainly perking up, let me tell you. But I've got very mixed feelings. And by the way, before I tell you the champions, just to let you know, I will be streaming CvC, as I always try to do. This time, I'm going to be streaming it here on YouTube, actually. And we're also going to start a little bit later, I think about an hour into it. And that is because, hopefully this loads up, been having some internet problems today. Champion training and Fire Night are going to be kicking off a little bit later into CvC. The one thing, definitely watch out for, guys, skill tomes are now going to give you champion training points. All right, that is a new thing that they've just added into the game in the last patch. So yeah, watch out for that. Don't book your champions if you're saving your books for CvC until this goes live if you want to get those champion training points as well. Definitely worried that this might make them increase the champion training points, which would suck. We're, of course, really hoping they decrease the points and just treat the skill tomes as an extra bonus. We'll see what happens. You always got to be skeptical when Plarium's involved. But yeah, we'll be doing that with Clan v Clan. Now, let's talk about these two champions. And like I said, I have very mixed feelings about them. First of all, Dracomorph is going to be boosted in a 10x event tomorrow. So that's the 11th of October, the Tuesday. He's going to be boosted for the first 24 hours, presumably. Ancients and Sacred Shards, Dracomorph. He used to be, one of the best champions in the game. I definitely feel like he's been power crept, is not as quite as relevant for the newer content. He is still very, very good. AoE decreased defense and weaken on all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown. This doesn't weak hit because it's a place. Then he's got 4 hitter, each hit putting a poison for 3 turns. His A1 does more damage for each debuff on the target. It can actually do surplus damage if he kills a target. He does a lot of damage. Accuracy and faction crypts is all right. He's really good for Demon Lord Clan Boss. However, there's lots of other champions. You may not have them, of course, but that are really good for Demon Lord as well. Like Acrisia, the new one, is obviously insane for it, funny enough. Gintoro, I use Gintoro. So if I look at my clan, like an old school clan, there's definitely Dracos in there. Here we can see we've got Ally Attack, very cool Fushan. We've got Gintoro in there. Here we've got Turvold. There's a Draco right here, 1 key. So he is obviously 1 key, super viable. Draco, we've got another Draco. We've actually got Fane in there doing a 1 key Draco. So you can see my clan, more old school players. There's lots of Dracos in there. There absolutely are. But there's lots of other champions as well that can do this. There's another Draco. Like Gintoro is new. You've got new style teams like with Ninja. Fane can do it, who's only an epic, though you'd need more gear. All the rest, you've got the Demitha style teams. So that for me does make him a little less valuable, right? Back in the day, he was the go-to for 1 key. There's other champions that can do it as well now, including epics like Anax and Fane, which draws me back a bit from him. Like, I'm just not convinced I would go for him in a 10x, to tell you the truth. Now, I know that's not going to be popular, so it's really up to you to decide, because a lot of other content creators, a lot of other players really do like Draco and would go for him. But for me, I think it depends on your account and what you need. He could certainly help you 1 key Demon Lord Clan Boss, but bear in mind, guys, it is only a 10x event, and this weekend we should have a 2x event from Ancient Shards. And that's going to be part of the fusion, if you are going for the fusion. A lot of people are skipping it, but if you're going for it, you're going to want to save Ancients for that champion chase, most likely. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're close to Mercy and Draco's very good for you, it's worth considering. He is good for some dungeon speedruns, but not all, because he does bring the decreased defense weaken and then the poisons and stuff. So he can be very good against like Dragon for Dragon speedruns and things like that. But he's not going to feature overly much in too many teams. But he is in for some dungeon teams. You can go check it out if you want the top teams for the dungeons. He is in some of those, so that's worth considering too. He is a good champion. I have him. But I will be honest with you, I've got Gintoro. I don't really use him. I just don't really use him. And yeah, I personally, I probably wouldn't rush out to pull shards for him, to be completely honest with you. But that's because, like I said, I've got a champion like Gintoro already. But there you go. And then the next one, this is where the whales are really going to be going crazy. Baron, surprise, surprise. They buff Baron, and then CvC comes around. 10x for Baron is going to be on Wednesday. It's 12th of October. Yes, so again, I will put a word of warning here for Baron. I have Baron. He obviously smashes extremely hard. This is like one of just the best nukes in the game. it's like it's on another level. This Sky Piercer is just absurdly good. Ignore shield, ignores block damage, and 50% of the target's defense. He does have a really good attack aura as well, so if you're going up against a slower team, you can use his attack aura, or that's very good for Doom Tower. This A1 does crazy AoE damage. I don't quite know the maths of how it works, but it's really weird. It does way more damage than it should half the time. And then he's got his other two moves are good single target hitters. You know, Baron, I did a guide on him recently, and a showcase of what he does. Like, the dude does smash extremely hard. There's no doubt about this. Now, the one thing I would say, though, for you, and this is what I would consider, he is a little bit awkward to use in the arena because he's got no defensive benefits whatsoever. He's gonna be super squishy. So that is definitely a big drawback. You could run him in Stone Skin because he hits so hard, but you're going to be losing out on some of that damage there. But it is a bit awkward. Like, I think for higher end arena, certainly Necret is usually paired with him. But I mean, you know, to pair Necret with him, you need Necret, right? Really, really powerful combo, especially because he can make Baron ally attack and the A1 is so strong. But if you don't have Necret, it is more difficult to use Baron. Like, if you compare Baron to, I think, the other, like, really top arena nukers, Leorius, obviously with his passive, is and with this passive effect on his A2, is really able to take a hit. So Leorius can take a hit and keep going, and in fact, it makes him stronger. Kandrafon can take a hit, though maybe not as useful on offense because of his affinity. And then, of course, Trunda, one of the other super popular arena nukers, she's got really, really high HP, so she can take a hit as well. Baron can't take a hit. He just can't. He's going to flop over dead. So it can be a bit tricky to use him. So just be aware of that. It's not like he's going to magically make you win every single arena fight. And that's sort of my other concern, is that he is an amazing arena nuker. Again, don't get me wrong. This hits so hard. But is it worth using your Void Shards to chase it? Possibly. It's, again, up to you. If you're very close to your Void Mercy, it might be worth going for if you want to try get him. For me, though, personally, when it comes to Void Shards, I'm much more chasing the supports, right? I'm much more chasing the supportive champions, like Necret, like Sifi. Like, those for me are a much bigger draw. Like a Chrysia. Champions that do something that's just like on another level from what everyone else does. Like Baron, yes, as an arena nuker, he's extremely good, but there's other loads of extremely good arena nukers. There's really nobody quite like Necret, you know? So that's something that I would bear in mind in terms of chasing Void Shards. Do you have a good arena nuker already? Baron may be an upgrade, but how big of a difference is it going to make? That's up for you to decide. If I had Necret already and I was a mega whale, this is what I'm saying. If I was a whale, I had Necret already, didn't have Baron, would I pull for him? Yeah, I probably would. You know, so the whales are going to go crazy for this. For a typical player, though, always beware of these 10x events. Be very careful. That being said, you've got a good chance to get him if you do hit legendary and avoid 10x. It's not the worst thing. But yeah, just calculate this stuff out. So there you go, guys. Again, my opinion, my recommendation, I think for most players, I would probably not be super rushing for either of these champions. I do think that Draco's probably a bit better for those earlier game players, so he can unlock, you know, Ultra Nightmare 1 or 2 key clan boss teams more easily. That's really valuable. And then Baron is obviously going to be great for arena for basically everyone. But 10x events, I don't know. I definitely take it with a pinch of salt, guys. But there you go. They are my thoughts, trying to balance things out, give you some of the pros and some of the cons as well. But yeah, there you go. Let me know what you think. Are you going to pull? If so, which one are you pulling for and why? It's definitely interesting to let us know, because I think this is definitely a contentious 10x for sure. But there you go, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, again, don't forget, come to the stream tomorrow. It's going to be good fun. I'll see y'all then. Bye-bye.